Okay, so basically just continuing on with the old glue removal. You have to be very ginger and careful with this process. It's kind of hard. The chisel duller too, so you dull your chisels. But because I'm going to be removing wood off that inner cheek there, I'm not talking about the dovetail, I'm talking about the inner cheek. I need to be sanding that, so I need to get as much of this glue off as I can. Just want to get the glue, don't really want to get any wood at this point. Now what I want to do is I want to undercut this area and these areas just slightly, and just leaving about 3/16 of an inch, like, you know, between the tip of that chisel and this edge. Leave that alone because that's where the sandpaper pulls are going to take off wood. And if we leave all this extra wood here, it's going to take much longer to do that. So basically want to go a little bit like this. Not too much. The part that I'm removing in here is not going to contact anything. All I'm doing is leaving this surface here, which will get the sandpaper pulls. Because we're rendering it thinner, we don't have to remove all this extra wood via sandpaper. That way we get a much sped up process of tipping the neck back. So now I have to look at the body and see how crazy we need to go with glue removal. Not a lot at all, really, but I'm going to hit it. I've still got some glue on this surface, more so than that other side of the dovetails. I'm going to just chisel a little bit of that off and maybe sand it a bit just to give us a head start. I'm not concerned with this surface because it doesn't touch anything. There's going to be about an 1/8 inch wide gap between this and the back of the heel of the neck. So just place the neck back in, and now that I've removed a lot of that old jagged glue that was in there, it sits in pretty much back where it was. Ready for sandpaper pulls, I think. So to give you an idea of what we're trying to accomplish, when I lay this ruler across the top of the frets and I extend it down, but when I do that, it's well below the top surface of the bridge, and that has to come up so that it's right about there, 1/16 of an inch. Looking for some 120 sandpaper. Hope I got some. Might not. What I'm going to do is make some sandpaper pulling strips, but they need to be reinforced with a bit of packing tape on the back, otherwise they tear. So it's time to start the sandpaper pulls. Okay, going to show you some sandpaper pulls. What this does is we want the effect of tipping the neck back like that, like it needs to tip back a little bit. That's exaggerated, of course. But to do that, we take our sandpaper, kind of wedge it in like so. And then we do the same on the other side, and as I said, we gradually tip the neck back and maintain a perfect union with the body while we're at it. So I'll go 3 aside. Show you guys this. When you're doing your sandpaper pulls, it's a common newbie trick to kind of get up on these little sharp corners here. And let me tell you, those will disappear faster than ice cream in the desert. So when you're pulling, what I do is I try and make sure that the most tension on the sandpaper is between there and my thumb without any upward of this. And I pull it through. And attempt to keep that sharp corner there. And every once in a while we have to get right at the tail here. Not too much difference yet. Well, I've reset the neck angle on this old Martin 12 string. It's a lot better than it was. Tipped it back some. Now, see if I can show you. I'll put the straight edge along and move it forward. And comes out in focus. Anyway, it's coming out about a Right now it's about, I don't know, 1/16 of an inch above the surface. Whereas before it was doing that. So
Yeah.
now we're up where we want to be. So what I got here is a piece of bracing from a guitar build that I know is 5/16 or 8 millimeters wide. Ideally, I'd like to be able to just pass that under there freely without touching, and that's exactly what I got.
Stay tuned for part 4, neck reset.